Welcome to the Revolting Bodies podcast,
where the people are talking
the conversation is flowing.
and the bodies are revolting.
I'm Darcy,
I'm Grace.
and today's episode is called The Performing Body.
Before we begin, as a content warning, every episode of the Revolting Bodies podcast involves discussions that engage with issues surrounding body image.
We have aimed to make this podcast a safe space for these discussions, but if this sensitive content has the potential to cause you any distress or harm, then this podcast might not be right for you.
Today we are joined with Alicia Bridge, who has founded the Revolting Bodies Collective. It will be a digital and multimedia performance and art festival aimed at interrogating body image. So, hello! This is our first podcast, The Performing Body. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So yeah, in this episode we're just going to talk about why this whole project has started, who we are, and just some, good intro tips for you guys.
Alicia,
Yeah, hi.
let's just start. Where did this all come from? What was the lightning bolt moment? What happened? Take us through it.
Well, there's a story to do. Obviously, I started Revolting Bodies because I found body image to be like a central topic in lockdown. You know, Joe Wicks, Chloe Ting, promoting health and ways to stay fit, but also weight loss as well. And it's really hard to stay motivated, which led to people feeling kind of a lockdown guilt, I would say. Like, oh, I've gained weight this week. Oh, I've lost weight this week. You know, we haven't experienced a lockdown before. So I love how it's fascinating to me the motivations behind losing weight and why we're so obsessed with it. I think obviously with gyms closing and things like that, it makes sense to try and do workouts at home. But the thing that really provoked me to start the project was, social media, how it can be good and bad. But as you get older, you sort of learn to black out the bad things, really. And you just go, whatever, cool, moving on. But when you're about 15, 16, that stuff could really affect you and it could play on your mind all day. And a post that I saw that made me say, right, that's it. I've got to do something. The quote was, "They're called leggings. The fuck is your stomach doing in there?" And I couldn't help but read the comments. I don't know why I did that to myself, but the comments just led me to go, this is even worse than the post itself. And I just think it gives people a platform to think they have the right to decide the way leggings are worn. And the thing is, all leggings are high-waisted anyway, but that's a whole new thing, fashion and things like that. But I sit comfortably in my own leggings, and after that post, it just made me think about it. And I've got a bit of a what people say, a muffin top, but whatever. I'm at that age now where I can say that. But back then, 15, 16, like my younger sister, that would really affect her. So it's about setting a good example for our younger people. Even older people, I feel like our age group is really good at promoting body positivity. Either side of us isn't getting the memo. The younger people might get that later, but the older generation are still trapped in this mindset of ideal body standards. But yeah, that's why Revolting Bodies is what it is. I really love that. And yeah, I think a lot about everything that you said was so true. And I've been thinking a lot about labels in that sense, and like fat, skinny. What does it matter? In a utopian world, it would be amazing if we just had like no labels in that sense and people just saw each other for like people. There's all these just things that we have to live up to, and it doesn't, everyone's version, the perfect body is different. Whatever it, and what does that even mean? Confusing. And it's like, asking for the same advice. No, asking for advice to like 10 different people. Everyone's going to give you a different bit of advice. And then you're just going to be left even more fucking confused than before. Oh, we love to swear at this. Overall,
I just think everyone is different. Everyone wants different things. And, you know, body and body image is very personal. And I think when it becomes, especially like obviously in the media and in our generation or whatever you want to say, like it's everywhere. It's on magazines, it's on, you know, newspapers, weight loss tricks, there's books about it. There's just so much information that sometimes personally I just get left feeling really confused. But yeah, I think that balance is key to life. You should eat unhealthy things sometimes and you should eat healthy things sometimes. Like you just need to balance it up, people. Like that's
Yeah, it's just about having that healthy body instead of an ideal body. My favorite image that I've been seeing circulating is like people of the same weights, but they're all different sizes. Yeah, that's really struck me. And you do forget, you're like, I could be the same weight. I'm quite a small gal, I would say, so I'm quite compressed. um, but someone that's really tall could be really slim and slender and be the same weight as me. But you know, you've got muscle mass and things like that. It's super confusing. You know, I don't weigh myself
neither
anymore.
do I think honestly I haven't weighed myself in years because I also don't want it my like mentality to be defined by a number. You know, what's that? Like it's about how
Mm.
you feel.
Yeah. I think the rules keep changing as well. It's like all the new fads, like this whole, at the moment, like when I was 16, the big thing was a flat stomach. Oh my God, I obsessed.
I feel
Like
like it still is.
about it is, but then it goes to something else. It goes to the hips, and I was like, oh, I have quite big hips. Maybe I'm winning today. And then it goes, oh, now the thing now is like that slim thick. What is that? What is slim? What is thick? How can those things be like? It's all so ridiculous. And I think all these issues have been there the whole time. They don't go away. They haven't got any better. But I think the lockdown has made them, really brought them to the front, because I think there was such, I think at least the start of it, where people didn't know how long it was going to be, but they're like, right, when I come out of lockdown, come out with a tan and like a new whole body, and I'm like, what?
Mm.
What is that about? So there is a pressure, I think, to have undertaken some sort of transformation in these months. And I
Yeah.
can assure you, I think I look exactly the same. Maybe I don't think anything's changed. At least not within me. Whether I like looked, if I don't really care, because as you say, now I can be like whatever. But I think for people who might have already been vulnerable and thinking in that mindset that I've been in before, to have all this Joe Wicks, 10 days to a flat stomach, or I don't know, like all these Instagram workouts, all the stuff you see on TikTok at the moment about what people are eating in a day. That's really unhealthy to like be consuming all of this like fast fix,
Mm.
to get the ideal body that you think people want, not what you want, but what you think people want. And those two things are very different, but they sometimes seem like they're the same. So I think it's so important to be engaging with those issues. So first of all, Alicia, thank you for setting this all up
Absolutely.
for us. I think it gets that conversation going. We get to be talking about it, thinking about how stupid all this stuff is. But yeah, just that basically.
Thank you, people, for believing in me. You know, like it's just expanding, it's growing every day. I'm really proud. I'm really proud of how it's turning out. Obviously, we're still early days, but with the whole lockdown thing and like digital theatre that's been emerging, it just makes sense that it's digital as well. Because where do you get this fat shaming and like ideas from? It's online essentially. So it's fitting to give back to the audience that are consuming these images at the same time.
So Darcy, Where are you from? What are you doing? What is
I am broadcasting to you live from sunny East Sussex. I live near Lewes, if that, I don't know, let's call it near Brighton. I don't know. Sometimes people go, oh, I know where that is. And I'm like, well, I don't live quite there. And you edge it out because no one really knows the area. I basically have spent my lockdown working in a supermarket and writing a play on the side. Which is about the weather. So I've tried to stay creative in that way. But when I saw the call out for Revolting Bodies, I just had to get involved. So, and then it's come into this podcast, and we're having the best time. And I'll hand that over to Grace, I suppose. Over to you.
Yeah, wow, where do we start? At the moment, I'm based in North London, which is where I go to drama school. The Royal Central School of Speech and Drama, if you haven't heard of it. No, I'm joking. No, but yeah. So I'm doing a PA course, which is performance art, and I honestly don't know how to explain the course, even when people ask. Alicia knows we're in the same class. But yeah, I really don't know how to explain the course at all. It's a bit of everything, arty, you know, we do some weird stuff, but we also do some very cool stuff. And as much as I find myself wondering why I'm there, I also couldn't imagine not being there. So it's a good one. Yeah, I mean my practice has mainly been in acting, but also I love writing of my own and just doing bits and bobbers on the side. But yeah, it's been a whirlwind of things in this lockdown, hasn't it, really? But yeah, no, I'm so happy as well to be doing this. It's such a positive project, and I thank Alicia, my brilliant classmate and close friend, for setting this all up. And it's been so fun meeting all these new people already. And as I hate to say it on digital spaces, because I do love the authenticity of face to face, it's been cool.
I do PA with Grace, performance art. I guess my practice is like directing, producing sort of way. I don't like writing. I cringe at my own writing. I don't know why. I do like editing. I love like film, short film, things like that. But I really love multimedia theatre when it sort of blends together. I just love the digital interaction with the real world and how it just crosses over. And it creates almost a new dimension, I would say. But hopefully I'll be exploring that in this project, using them skills that I've picked up from PA and elsewhere, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, the digital spaces thing has been really working well because, for example, me and Grace didn't know Darcy before, but now we do.
We do!
Yeah, like we've met so many new people. I think is fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
And from all over the place. We've got people spread across the world, not even just the UK, that are all coming together to make lovely art. It's just fab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I think is the most amazing thing about, you know, digital spaces in terms of communication. Just being able to connect with people, like, you know, that are in different time zones, like having a Zoom call where, like, how mind-boggling is that if you think about it? Zoom in with someone, you know, who's across the world, and there is like 6 p.m. there and I don't know, 10 a.m. here. You know, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's a new normal, I guess,
Yeah.
like everyone's saying. But I think this is promising for projects, and you know, because if I started this project as a live thing strictly, I'd probably lose about more than half of the artists we have. We have like over 25 artists. I can't keep count now. But yeah, some people go, some people come. But I just said that the wrong way around. Come and go. Go.
Go and
I
yeah.
go too much. Ugh. But
what is the goal of this whole project?
To put it into bullet points, I guess, promoting body positivity, that's the main object. It's within our sort of collaborators group, young, old, and making it an accessible experience. We all have a body, you know, so it should be the most relatable sort of project there is going. Going to have a blog. We've got the Instagram and Facebook. I hope to build that up and reach new people, have these conversations. So it's at Revolting Bodies, you know, don't forget to follow, guys. But I think we're gonna make some really beautiful art.
Yeah.
And what
know.
forms are people saying they're going to be making so far? Like what's on the table?
Okay, so a little spoiler. So we have some British Sign Language writing coming soon. We have, I'm going to do a short film, photo shoots. That's what I've been up to for the promo video. So that will be released hopefully. I can't really put a date on it because, you know, still waiting for people to send in their shoots and things like that. And then the editing process. And I think at some point maybe have a live event, but I don't know. Within this climate, it's hard to do things like that, you know. I definitely want to keep this up and running and keep in contact with all these lovely people.
I think, yeah, the main thing is kind of knowing that even though we're all different, we are the same in terms of like insecurities, and we're human. We all get the same worries. It's just nice to be real about it and talk to people and know that through talking to people you get that support, don't you? And you get that reassurance that you're not in this alone. And yeah, that's, I think, the most important.
And we're all healing together. So I think that's another beautiful element of Revolting Bodies, really, you know?
Yeah, it's about getting that conversation going through the art. And I think it's just nice to make things and think creatively. You get a bit stuck at the moment. I think you think, oh my God, when am I gonna like perform again? When am I gonna direct again? When am I gonna be in a room full of people? But I'm in a room full of people right now. So it's just nice to kind of change what bodies mean, what they can be, and what performance means and what it can be. Like those are two things that we can get to play with together. And it's just really so exciting. I can't wait for things to start rolling out and people to like see them and experience them.
Just show the healing power of art.
Literally. Preach. Yes.
What a great start to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Alicia.
The next episode is called The Media Body, where we will be discussing the media's impact on body image.
The conversation has just begun. Follow us on Instagram at Revolting Bodies.